Here we have a 2018 on 18 registration, Iveco Daily, Noone, Turas T600S, 25 seat midi coach. So we are in West London at West Bus, looking at, I think the last of these I've got to sell. There was a batch of 3 that I've worked through over the last couple of years, and in the end they had to keep this because they picked up a little job for Evan Evans, obviously. For it, but now they're ready to release it. And being a West Bus vehicle, it's well looked after and it's low mileage. So let's have a work round. So Euroliner wheel trims are fitted, as you can see. Bodywork's fairly straight. There's a bit of a back corner scuff there, nothing major. I mean, in fairness, I would imagine you're probably going to paint it anyway. Look good in graphite, this, with the black roof. Anyway, reverse camera's fitted. Nice big boot. Obviously there's some bits and bobs kept in there. That's the cover off the roof light inside. But yeah, loads of luggage space on these, ideal for small groups, which is what Evan Evans will use it for. Airport transfers, private hires. And I do remember these first coming when they were brand new. And I think they were the first dailies that I'd ever really set foot in. And Tim being Tim, he was excited about showing me. I've no doubt before I leave today he'll want to show me his new Ivecos. And one thing I noticed, because he was saying about how comfortable they looked and so on, one thing I noticed was the lack of engine noise, because at that sort of point still quite used to Varios and so on. So, but we'll talk about that inside. Near side, as you can see, hasn't really got any bodywork issues. Power operated plug type door lets us in, and then as we jump on board, we've got 25 keel reclining seats. How do I know the keel? Tells us on every one of them. So we've got 25 keel reclining seats. They're fitted with 3-point seat belts, full leather trim, and it is leather, it's not pretend. Quite soft leather as well to the touch. Seats are in great condition. To be honest, West Bus vehicles don't tend to rack up the miles, if I'm being honest. We've got USB connectors at every seat in the racks. We're fully air conditioned. We've got wood effect laminate to the floor with a carpet to the aisle. Let's talk about the Noone bit first. Okay, I really rate Noone products, right? I like how Mark and his team over in Ireland sit and think about what they're doing when they design a vehicle. You know, they make them driver friendly, they make them user friendly. The Turas 900 is always my favourite, the way they've engineered that on an Ertigo chassis, in complete contrast to all its competitors. You know, they don't just chuck something together, them guys. They think it through and they do a good job. The Iveco side, as I said, I remember, you know, I was up the back on one of the 3 that he bought at the time. They were brand spanking new. In fact, they were parked over there where the cars are. And I'm sat at the back and Tim said, "Isn't it quiet?" I mean, listen how quiet it is. And obviously, as I said, we were used to like things that sounded like tractors at the time. And I actually asked, I said to him, "Is it on?" Because they are so quiet. And with that Himatic gearbox, which I'll come to in a second, they're literally like driving a car. Honestly, they are. Excuse me. And dead comfy, dead quiet, driver friendly. Okay, it's a Euro 6 Iveco engine, obviously. It's driven through that 8-speed automated Himatic gearbox. Dash is in great condition. Got a little bit of an upgraded steering wheel fitted. All your main switches are to the driver's right. Dead accessible. great little vehicle, these. We're wired for CCTV, forgot to point that out. There's also a fridge fitted just tucked away under the dashboard. Courier seat as well with 2 hand mics, you can see there. Ideal for little groups, these. Honestly, they are, because they're just full-size seats, nice soft leather, gives the people, your customers, a feeling of quality. You've got the luggage if you need it, driver friendly, courier seat for the guide. Honestly, I rate the Noone products, and I also think this Iveco Daily is just so driver friendly. So to recap, it's a 2018 on an 18 registration, Iveco Daily, Noone Turas T600S, 25 seat midi coach.